Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome, and thank you for joining me. It's Thursday. It's that day that you've got to power through all of your work today. So I have a really good meditation for you. And yes, it is a little silly, but having fun with meditation and bringing out a little bit of that inner child is always a good thing. And this will definitely give you focus. So we usually follow our breathing, or we breathe in order to calm the body, and then we focus on the breathing to calm the mind. But sometimes you need that extra little bit of focus. So we're going to make our meditation a little bit fun this morning. And as we breathe, we're going to make imaginary sounds. And the more silly, the better. But so as you breathe out, maybe you imagine the sound of a truck backing up, and as you breathe in, maybe you imagine the sound of a horse whinnying or something like that. But just really make those sounds very deliberate and just have fun with it. But it'll actually make you focus so much more on the breathing. And, again, that gives you that super focus and concentration that you need to get through your work today so that you can have a little bit of a quieter day tomorrow and not be so stressed out for 4th of July weekend. So let's get started. And as we always do, just sit nice and comfortably. Give yourself a little adjustment so that you can feel your spine is perfectly straight right above your hips. And then when you're ready, just close your eyes. And just take a couple of deep breaths before we start. So breathe in all of that wonderful cleansing energy. And then as you breathe out, just get rid of all of those toxins and just allow your body to relax. So breathe in that wonderful clean energy, and then breathe out and relax. And then make sure your feet are perfectly planted on the floor. They should be flat. Try and see if you can make the arches of your feet touch the floor so that your feet just collapse and sink into the carpet. And then moving on up to your calf muscles, just allow them to relax. Feel that little tingle at the back of your knee as the muscle relaxes and starts to pull down. And then moving to your thighs and your hamstrings. Just allow those muscles to relax. Feel like they're dissolving and melting into the seat. Should almost feel like they're becoming a puddle. They're melting so much, and all of that tension is just disappearing. And then move back to your hips and your pelvis. Just make sure your hips are tipped forward so that your spine can sit nice and straight right above your hips. Make sure everything is aligned perfectly. Imagine a stack of marbles, just perfectly balanced one on top of the other. If they're in a perfect line, then it doesn't require any support to hold them there. So just relax. And then moving on up to your shoulders and your neck. Feel those muscles relaxing. Feel your shoulder blades drop down slightly. Feel your hands pressing into your lap or your thighs a little bit more. Allow your elbows to relax and soften. And then move on up to your head. Make sure it's perfectly balanced on top of your neck. Give it a little wiggle or a little gentle circle if you need to find that neutral point. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes and your forehead. Now turn your attention to your breathing. And we're going to follow the breath in the chest today. That's usually where there's a lot of movement for most people. So just feel your chest gently rising and falling with each breath. Feel that space expanding and contracting. Just a very gentle rhythm. And now we're going to start to add those sound effects. So as you breathe in, maybe you imagine the sound of a chainsaw or a lawnmower. And then as you breathe out, maybe you hear the sound of a trombone. But you can make up the sounds whatever you want. And if you still find that your mind jumps in there with a conversation, just make the sounds even more outrageous. Make yourself giggle on the inside. But just make the sound really memorable and just make it fun. So we're going to do that for 4 minutes. Okay, so that's the end of our 4 minutes. So you can stop making your imaginary sounds and just go back to just observing your regular breath now for a moment. Just feel that gentle wave moving back and forth. Feel that cool, fresh energy coming into your body. Feel all of that, the toxins and stress leaving as you breathe out. And then start to become aware of the sounds in the room around you. Start to become aware of your seat and your feet on the floor. And then when you're ready, just open your eyes and come on back. All right. So that's a fun way to start the day. If you're tired, if you're having trouble concentrating, if you sit down to do a regular breathing meditation and you just can't do it, then make it silly like that. And it just gives your mind something novel, something that maybe it hasn't come across before. And so it'll pay attention. And so it just makes meditation a lot easier. Now, you're not going to get into a deep transcendental state doing something like that, but it will focus your mind and give you that concentration that you need for the day. So that's all I have for now. It is Thursday, and tonight we do have a Thursday night talk. So if you can join me for that, it's a little bit longer. If you only want to do the relaxing meditation, then just join the call for the first 10 minutes or so, and then you can drop off. But if you're interested in learning a few more different meditations and some more of the spiritual nature of meditation and get a little bit deeper, then just stick around for the full hour. All right, so have a wonderful day. Stay cool. It's really hot again in New Jersey, so be safe. Drink plenty of water. I have a few minutes for questions today, so if you have any questions for me, if you want to stick around for 10 seconds or so. Otherwise, have a great day. I'll see you guys later.